Good morning, you guys. It is another kind of gloomy day, honestly, right? It's like literally the same day as yesterday, like almost the same exact time, but it's a completely different atmosphere. It's like, well, honestly, I don't mind it. I'm kind of vibing with it. I like when it changes itself up sometimes. You know what I mean? The weather changes itself up. It's raining a little bit. Hopefully it stays at this level because I am not trying to get rained on while I'm talking about this. But yeah, let's get to the topic. So what I wanted to talk about was I'm always hungry, bro. I'm always hungry, and I have this insatiable hunger for just food all the time, bro. And it's like it's hard to explain because I know, like, I'm sure some people can understand this, but um I I don't really know how to explain it to people who haven't been there. It's like basically, so some of the things I wrote down was like, even after I eat my food, like even all right, I'm back. I can't lie, I ran out of space again. But one of the things I wrote down was that uh, I'm always hungry even after my meals, and basically I've done so much work. I put so much effort into making my meal portions like increasing the volume of my meals without increasing the calories. That's honestly the only way I'm able to survive dieting, especially like cutting. Like, my favorite things to eat are is yogurt, bro. Is Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is my favorite food item because it's just so voluminous and it has a lot of protein and it's very low calorie. So it like fills you up. It gives you a false sense of fullness, you know what I mean? But what I realized is that the more distracted you are by other things in your life, the less hungry I feel. And it's not like necessarily that I am actually hungry. Like, my body's not actually hungry because, especially right now, because I'm at maintenance. I'm maintaining my weight. I'm not losing weight. So I should not be hungry, like, actually. Like, from a biological standpoint, I should not be hungry because I'm maintaining my weight. So that doesn't really explain why I'm so hungry. It doesn't, like, if I was in a calorie deficit, then it makes sense. I'd be like, yeah, of course I'm gonna be slightly hungry. But no matter what phase I'm in, whether I'm maintaining, cutting, I wouldn't say bulking, like maybe lean bulking, because lean bulking would just be like a little bit over maintenance. But that's what I'm basically doing. I'm basically lean bulking right now, and I'm still hungry all the time. I'm still always hungry. It's crazy. It's like but yeah, like I was saying, I put so much effort into increasing the volume of my meals by eating, like, mainly just whole foods. One thing I also like to add to my meals a lot is romaine lettuce. So, like, anything, like when I'm eating my meats or eggs, I eat a lot of romaine lettuce. So that kind of fills up my stomach because it's just like water and vitamins, I guess. I don't know, bro. Well, it's like a leaf. It's just leaves full of water, bro. It definitely fills up your stomach. It's like you're just eating water, damn near, at that point. But they're good for you also, so it's not just water. But yeah, I've tried so hard to I termed it, or I coined the term volume maxing. I don't know if anyone's ever used that out there, but if not, then I want to claim it right now. Volume maxing. I have volume maxed every aspect of my life, bro. Literally every meal I eat has some type of volume maxing, bro. I increase the volume as much as I can, but like, it comes to a certain point where you just can't, like, it's unrealistic because you got to be able to get the food down in a realistic amount of time. Because, like, if you're only eating like foods with massive volume, like if that's the only thing you're eating, then it's gonna take forever to eat. And honestly, you might not even be able to eat it because you'll be bloated. You know, your body, because you're tricking your mind. So you gotta have like a balance of high volume foods to, like, you know, regular volume foods. So that's why I eat romaine lettuce on the side of, like, all my other foods. But it's still not enough for me, bro. And I think the reason why is, I think it's really just a mental thing. I don't think because whenever you're cutting, of course, then it becomes biological. Then it's like, yeah, your body is actually in deficit mode constantly, so you're actually literally hungry and you can feel it. But when I'm not literally hungry and I don't feel it in my body, like I can feel my stomach. Like, I mean, I just woke up this morning, so it's like it's a little different. So I'm not as hungry, but it's what's it called? It's for me, it's mainly a mental thing, and I think it's because I grew up using food as a coping mechanism, which I've talked about before, but I haven't really dived into it. I feel like, I don't know, but yeah, food has always been a coping mechanism for me ever since I was a little kid. Like, even when I've went through multiple cycles of like gaining weight and losing weight. Like, when I was a little kid, I was really skinny. You know, I was running around. I don't think I was worrying about eating bullshit all the time until like life got harder. You know what I mean? I started moving around. So like, it wasn't like I was born this way. You know what I mean? It was kind of like it was learned. You know what I mean? Whenever life was getting harder, whenever I was moving around as a kid, and I was like antisocial because I didn't have any friends, I would stay home, right? I wouldn't go outside and play. I would stay home, I would watch YouTube. I talked about this in my other video. I would watch YouTube, I would play video games. But while I was doing that, a lot of the times I would be eating. And, you know, of course, whenever you're eating, or like like when you're watching something or playing something, I guess when you're playing something it's harder. But whenever you're watching something, like if you're watching like YouTube all the time, it's so easy to eat. You can just eat constantly. And I did a lot of that. I would eat a lot of chips and just a lot of bullshit. That's why I gained so much weight as a little kid. And then by the time I was in like 5th grade, I was fat. And then I went through puberty and I kind of slimmed out, but it wouldn't last that long. Well, I never really gained the weight back, and I think it's because I found a new way to distract myself. And instead of like watching YouTube all the time, which I still did a lot of, and I would still eat while watching YouTube, I had a larger balance of playing video games. And it's like, you can eat while you play video games, but I feel like you're kind of gross if you're eating, you know, Cheetos. Like, people do eat Doritos while they play video games, you know what I mean? Doritos and Mountain Dew. I don't think I've actually ever seen anyone eat Doritos and Mountain Dew while they're playing video games, but just yeah, most people wouldn't want to do that because that's unhygienic. But of course, if you're a lazy chud, then yeah, you probably are eating while you're playing video games. But if you're not, then playing video games like to the level I did when I was in high school, that can distract you so much that you don't even eat. Sometimes I wouldn't even eat. So it's like, the way that I would avoid eating, not intentionally, like at the time, like I didn't really care about it during like high school, or like just growing up. Like, I was always self-conscious, but I didn't really care about what I was eating because I didn't know, you know. I was ignorant. I didn't know better, so I didn't do better. But yeah, the only reason I would eat less was when I was super distracted and I was playing video games non-stop. You know what I mean? Like, I could play video games for the entire day and not eat for the entire day, and I would lucky. When I think about it, I feel like I would feel good about that back then, because then I'd be like, yeah, I'm not gaining weight, I'm losing weight because I'm playing video games. So like, I would feel good about that. But that's obviously not healthy in any way. But yeah, I think that's what it stems from. It stems from it being a coping mechanism. And I can hear the rain coming, bro. I think I'm about to finish this up right at the perfect time, bro, because it sounds like it's about to rain pretty bad. I'm almost done. Yeah, so it was my coping mechanism. And after I graduated high school, I think that's why I got so bad, because during my senior year, I was so locked in, bro. Like, I want to make a video about that, like the That guy's a jackass. I wanna make a video about that, the curse of me being locked in, because that consumed my like half of my senior year. But I was so locked in. Basically, I would go to school, and then immediately, as soon as I got as soon as I got out of school, I had an early release, so I would get home early. But then I would only have like 30 minutes to get ready, and then I would go work at Whataburger. So I was really grinding for real. And it was keeping me distracted. And that's the number one thing. It was keeping me distracted. It was keeping my mind off of food. So dieting was like, at that point, like eating food, like I still enjoyed eating food. Like it never went away because it was engraved in my mind. But I was so distracted constantly, and I wouldn't even have access to food most of the time because, I was either at school or at work. It was easy for me to get super lean. Of course, not in a very healthy way because, I was like passing out and shit at work, or damn near passing out at work, and I did pass out at school one day. But it was just, I was constantly distracted, and if you're relying on distraction to, if you're relying on your mind to be distracted, to avoid binge eating and stuff like that, then you're never gonna succeed, bro. Because as soon as I graduated high school, I got into the habit of binge eating because I wasn't going to school, and I ended up leaving my job to go get a new one, which I didn't get for like a few months. Like honestly, like I think it took like 2 to 3 months for me to get a new job. So you can imagine during those 2 to 3 months, I was just, I definitely gained weight. Like I didn't gain a significant amount of weight, but I gained a little bit of weight to the point where I was very unhappy with what had happened to me, like what had happened to my appearance, because I worked so hard to become a more attractive my senior year, and then right after it, immediately following, I fell back in, not fell back, I fell into the habit because I didn't even know I had a binge eating disorder. I kind of developed it because of how much time I had, and the fact that I didn't have to go to school, the fact that I wasn't on a strict schedule, and I didn't really know what I was doing with my life. It just consumed me, and all I wanted to do was consume food, bro, like a fat ass. So that's what I did, bro. And I feel like this is getting pretty long. I feel like that covers most of the reasons why I'm always hungry. I have a couple more points right here. Like, all right, so I have a couple more key points. So, like, I wrote down, like, I don't know if it's something I can fix through conventional means, and I mean like biologically. Like, I don't think I can do anything physically to do it. I think it's all mental, and I think that's how it is for a lot of people. Some people, it is physical. Some people aren't eating enough, and that you just kind of have to thug it out, bro. That's like, at that point, it's just like deal with it. Or I mean, I wouldn't ever recommend taking like weight loss drugs, but those are things that people do, that I almost considered doing at one point. But yeah, I was saying that like the only way I can lose weight is if I'm just so distracted that I don't have time to eat more than what I allow myself. And it does take away from me being in the present sometimes, because sometimes when I'm trying to enjoy, not all the time, but like in certain moments when I'm trying to enjoy like the little things, and be present, I'll be thinking about food, bro. It's crazy. Like literally, I'll be thinking about food. Like, that is, I don't know, man. It kind of sucks, bro, but I don't think this is forever. I think there's just a lot of healing I have to do, and it's gonna take time. Like I'm still trying to figure out how to change the wiring of my brain, the hardware, the software, whatever you want to call it. That's really the hardest part of this. And yeah, I wrote down, it's a constant cycle of focusing my attention on the next task. So literally, any moment that I get distracted, or any moment that I'm not focused on a task, I'll, like any moment of silence, I don't chill, because I start thinking about, oh, I kind of want some food, bro. Like whenever I'm alone with my thoughts, which is good to be alone with your thoughts sometimes, but for me, it's like it's hard because I just want to eat food, bro. You know what I mean? But I'm still able to avoid it 90% of the time. I'm just constantly running from the storm. Maybe I need to face it head on. Um, but yeah, I also wrote at the very end, the only way for me to not be hungry is to be distracted, like I said, or go to sleep, which I've heard people talk about in like whenever I used to be into looks maxing and stuff. Um, it's not like I'm not into improving my appearance, but looks maxing like hardcore like I was, is definitely not as prominent. Um, but I remember one thing that they would say when they were like in the glow up guides or like the looks maxing guides is that if you're hungry, you just go to sleep, and it's so true, bro. Because I would be so when I was like getting super shredded, um, I was so tired at the end of the day that I wouldn't even consider eating, bro. I was just so exhausted from going to school. Like I wouldn't even be sleeping, bro. I would barely sleep. I'd go to school and then I'd go to work right after, and then I would still eat throughout the day, but barely. Like I wouldn't even have that much time to eat. So like it was a hard cycle. But um, I hope this experience shared provided some value. Let's do the physique check. We can't forget because that is my reason why I do this. We're updating the progress. I talk about my problems, experiences, and then I flex on y'all. That's exactly why we do this. That's a pretty good thumbnail. All right, y'all. Well, peace. I hope this could provide some type of value to you, and I'm gonna get ready and go to the gym because I'm actually excited to go to the gym. Isn't that crazy? I wouldn't say I'm ever gonna enjoy the process of lifting or like lifting weights, but I can enjoy what it brings, what I gain from it. There's a lot of things to gain from it, so I'm looking forward to that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace. Have a good day.